I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our Commissioners Board meeting for August the 4th. We are broadcasting live on Microsoft Teams live event, as well as BCTV and Facebook and YouTube Live. We'll begin with a moment of silence, followed by a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to begin with a special presentation. We have Babette Macy here with CGL, and she is going to introduce the new Correctional Facility Project website.
Commissioners. Good morning.
Thank you.
Again, thanks for the opportunity to be here this morning, and hello to all of the residents and community of the County of Berks. With assistance of Stephanie Weaver, we're going to highlight the new website for the Berks County Correctional Facility. As we've begun this process, we feel it's very important to be transparent and open with the community, and the website is one step in this process. So we're excited to demonstrate this to everyone this morning. We've prepared the website to be both in English and in Spanish with the help of Commissioner Rivera and his assistant, Ms. Lopez. We appreciate your assistance with this. And through that, we have two separate websites, and we'll show the URLs for both of those at the end of this presentation. We felt it was important to have a Spanish website as well as an English website to communicate the progress and plan for the new correctional facility. So we'll just kind of walk through the website, and feel free to interject with any questions you may have. And I know that Commissioner Barnhart said there may be some questions that pop up as part of the Facebook Live session that we're happy to address as well. So when you open up the website, you have the mission statement, of which the steering committee worked hard to address. That's the first thing we see. And as a reminder, this mission statement is core to the project. At every phase of the project, we thread this through every phase. And if there's ever an issue or ever trying to tie something back and come to a resolution, we always go back to our mission statement and make sure that each step of the process is holding true to the mission of which the steering committee and the County of Berks have wanted to make for this correctional facility. A little bit about the project follows this on the homepage. We have the challenge and the opportunity of the project. We list out the steering committee members. Just scroll down, Stephanie, a little bit. We have on the homepage as well. Right now, we're currently in 3 phases of the project, and we have those listed. This part will continue to grow. It's also listed up on the toolbar, so we'll be able to, if people want to go directly to the needs assessment or directly to procurement, they can access it that way as well. We'll touch on that in just a moment. Right now, we have 1 deliverable that has been accepted by the Board of Commissioners as of last week. And in full transparency, it is placed on the website. You may download it. It's a PDF that will pop up once you click on that link. Following the different phases, we have a project timeline. We felt it was important. This project has been in process for a long time, so we felt it was important to show kind of the history of the project, highlight that as you scroll down. It ticks away where we are in the process. Again, this timeline will build upon it as the project continues to grow in different phases, but this is where we are at this time period. At the bottom of each page, we have an opportunity for people in the community, residents, to sign up for updates. Those will go to Stephanie, and she'll coordinate that for the county. And At some time, we may be pushing things out through email distribution, and this is an opportunity to capture interested parties that would like to have updates as the project moves forward. So Stephanie, I think we'll go to the first tab just to highlight the different phases. Let's see, I apologize, I can't see that from that part, but I know the FAQs, again, this is about the project. There's a little bit more information on the steering committee, the location, CGL, the owner's rep team, the financing, and we have a sustainability statement that has been, to receive more information is always as I mentioned, at the bottom of the page, as well as one important connection is this page is linked to the County of Berks website and vice versa. So people can access it from your website, or they can access the County of Berks website from this website. So we have developed a few frequently asked questions, and those will continue to grow as we receive more information from the public and find out questions or concerns that we may need to address with FAQs. Here's a few that we have developed currently. Go ahead and follow the next. So each meeting is published, our agenda and meeting minutes that we have with the steering committee. While the meetings are public for people that want to attend in person, we also provide all the meetings minutes from the meetings, as well as the upcoming agenda for members of the community, interested parties to access through this link. We also have the meeting minutes just in their own separate tab as well, if people feel they want to download them. If Stephanie were to click on one of those, it would be a PDF, just like the needs assessment pops down and you just open up a PDF. Project delivery tab, as I mentioned, we have two important phases of the project going on. The first was the validation of need, which was completed. Again, the commissioners voting on the needs assessment last week. Another opportunity to download that PDF if they just want to go directly to that on the website. We're entering the programming phase as Stephanie scrolls down, and once there will be a deliverable with programming phase, and it will be as well attached here. There are a few agreements that have been part of the project as we've moved along. One of them was the agreement with CGL, so we felt this was the place to post those as well to allow for transparency, and those have been attached. The third tab is really all about the last link we talked about, how to stay informed on the project. Again, you sign up for updates, those will go directly to Stephanie. We'll capture those. So, and the meeting minutes and all of that can also be accessed here. We did want to touch base a little bit on the Spanish website. So by clicking, there you go. That takes you to the URL that is directly for everything in Spanish. It's been translated. We spent a significant amount of time to make sure even some of the images have been translated. If you go to the project delivery tab, I think it's the second one. Oh, there you go. Yes. So even that, you'll see the graphic. We felt was important to translate that as well. So at this time, I'll open it up for any questions, comments. As I mentioned, we'll continue to build on this site.
Any comments from my colleagues?
Is the URL the same for both Spanish and English?
No, it is different because we made the URL in Spanish.
Okay.
Do you have the slide
have it here
for that?
You can access English or Spanish from the same URL for that.
In the upper right-hand corner, click English or Spanish.
Thank you.
But because this is not Google Translator. If it was Google Translator, you'd have one site, but there are two separate sites that have been created. So
Correct, Commissioner. So we do have two different URLs, and we'll be providing a slide for that in the meeting at 1 o'clock, the steering committee meeting, but we can have that for anybody that wants access to those two links.
Yes, the
inside.
steering committee and the board felt it very important to have a separate standalone website for both English and Spanish, and that you've done a very good job of printing, so it's not confused or blended into our county website, so they can look at that at their leisure and have all the relevant documentation we have thus far available to them in the public. Very good.
Moving forward, we'll use this as a tool as we go out and meet with various groups and members of the community. This is the most up-to-date and current tool we have. While we'll have printed versions of a number of deliverables and fact sheets and things on the project, we want to drive everybody to the website because that's where we'll find the most up-to-date information. So we encourage all that advocate for the project to please direct people to this website moving forward. All right.
Thank you very much, Babette. Appreciate it, and good kickoff on the website.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, are there any additions or corrections for the July 28th Commissioner meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. We've had a number of executive sessions. July 29th, dealing with personnel. August 1st, personnel and litigation. August 2nd, personnel and litigation. August the 3rd in the morning, personnel and litigation. August the 3rd in the afternoon, contract negotiations, personnel, litigation, and real estate. With that, I'd like to recognize my executive assistant, Anne Marie Grill. Anne Marie.
Thank you, Commissioner Limbach. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Anne Marie. There are no comments on specific agenda items. I do want to note and thank Heather Berger. She's posted a link in Microsoft Teams and hopefully up on Facebook and YouTube Live for both the English and Spanish version of the Berks County Correctional Facility website. Thank you very much for doing that. Our agenda, item 1, authorizing under that Budget Department, adopt a resolution authorizing 2022 budget transfers in the amount of $15,545 and 2022 appropriations in the amount of $3,803 per listing dated July 29th of 2022. There are several items under Human Resources. Item 1, authorize the appointment of Thomas Burns to Enterprise Support Technician in Information Systems. Item 2, authorize the transfer of Trista Oxenrider from Court System Improvement Manager to Court Administration. Item 3, authorize Ann Norton, Election Operations System Manager, to receive a temporary compensation for additional duties and election services. Item 4, authorize Sylvia Gutierrez, HAVA Support Coordinator, to receive temporary compensation for the additional duties and election services. There's an item listed under my name, but that actually is an item under the commissioners. It's a commissioner's appointment. Listed as 259.2022. Adopt a resolution authorizing the appointment of Mari Lou Rodriguez Bauer, Esquire, Moulton, PA, to the Berks County Convention Center Authority Board for a 4-year term expiring August 29th of 2026. This appointment replaces John Ernesto, whose appointment expires August 29th of 2022. Adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute addendum number 3 to a lease agreement by and between the County of Berks and J. Fox Properties LLC, extending the lease of office space located at 26 Shoal Drive, Ole, PA, for an additional 12 months from December 31st of 2022 through December 31st of 2023. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute both the application for renewal of the county's MS4 permit waiver and accompanying notice of intent for submission by the Berks County Planning Department. Adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute a memorandum of understanding entered into by Berks County and United Food and Commercial Workers Union 1776 under the collective bargaining agreement. Adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute a memorandum of understanding entered into by Berks County and SEIU Healthcare, Pennsylvania, under the collective bargaining agreement. Item E, well, it's actually F. That's why I'm not trying not to read the number there or the letter. Adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute the application for a zoning permit on behalf of the Parks and Rec Department for Lower Alsace Township. Adopt a resolution authorizing Jeffrey R. Smith, warden, to execute the commander's license form and general lease statements granting the SOG team use of their range facility for training purposes. Adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of the user license agreement for the online weapons permit application between the County of Berks on behalf of the Berks County Sheriff's Office and Permitium LLC, Pineville, North Carolina, to provide online gun permit processing, including staff training, ongoing support, hosting, and management of Permitium Solution Program effective August 1st of 2022 through July 31st of 2023. Thank you, Commissioner Barnard. Adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute an amended proposal submitted by BBP Solutions, including a master services agreement incorporating a proposal by Kaplan Kirsch Rockwell to provide legal advice and counsel on federal regulatory matters to BBP on matters involving the Reading Regional Airport Authority, included but not limited to a review of all existing leases entered into by the authority at the stated hourly rates contained therein. Item 2, a motion to authorize execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the attached listing dated August the 1st of 2022. There are 26 contracts, 16 with the Area Agency on Aging, 1 with CareerLink, 4 with Children and Youth Services, 1 with the Department of Emergency Services, 1 with Facilities and Operations, 1 with Information Systems, 1 with Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities, and 1 with Tax Claim. And then item 3, a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers is set forth on the Controller's Office voucher listing dated August the 4th of 2022.
Motion to approve the agenda is presented.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. And with that, we'll move to the report of our Berks County Treasurer. In place of the Treasurer, we have his Deputy, Linda Weaver. Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have an opening balance of $243,694,456.81. We have a balance to clear of $2,696,186.81, leaving us with a balance of $240,998,270.
Thank you very much. And we'll now turn to our Berks County Controller, Sandy Graffius, with the Controller's Report.
Oops, I just dropped it.
I think she's there. It's looking dark in your room, Sandy.
How's that?
There we go.
Our accounting firm gave me a little slide.
Can't hear you.
Our accounting firm, can you hear me now?
Barely.
Our accounting firm gave me a little slide that goes across my camera so that I can hide from the world if I need to, and I had my slide shut. I now have my slide open. You needed to hear all that. Okay, total accounts payable $10,492,948.24. We had a payroll $4,551,272.09 for a grand total of $15,044,220.33.
Thank you very much, Sandy. We'll move now to our Chief Administrative Officer, Ron Seaman.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. I have nothing to report at this time.
Thank you, Ron. And that quickly, we are to Commissioner's comments, and we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. I just have a few comments. One, I want to thank everyone who went out on Tuesday night and supported our law enforcement officers in the National Night Out. I personally came to the one here in Reading. It was on the 500 block of Penn Street. Had a great time, a lot of vendors, an opportunity to get out there and meet with law officers, not only the Reading Police Department, but others as well. And I want to thank the county's probation office. They had tables set out there as well. The district attorney's office had a table set out there as well, so people could meet with them, gather information. So it was a great opportunity for the community at large to meet and engage with our law enforcement officers, which is highly needed. So thanks you to everyone who participated there. Also want to remind you that today and every Thursday through September 29th is the Penn Street Market, and that is on the 600 block of Penn Street. And there's different vendors there, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, ice cream, and other items there. So come out and support our local producers and our local vendors. Again, that's on the 600 block of Penn Street, Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And one last item is this Saturday, there is what's called Riverzilla, and you'll see it on your screen there. And Riverzilla is a community day that will take over Riverfront Park in Reading on Saturday, August 6th, this Saturday. The event is the capstone project for Schuylkill River Greenway's Summer Fellow Nick Fullwood and Berks Nature Fellow Melissa Acosta. Working with the City of Reading Sustainability Manager Bethany Ayers Fisher, Acosta and Fullwood put together an event that includes free kayaking, biking, food, and more. So it's going to be a great opportunity for people to get out and enjoy some summer weather. And it has a focus on the health of the river. And the Family Fun Day will begin with a group cleaning up along the river. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. is the cleanup, and the community day is from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. in the Riverfront Park in Reading. So for more information, you can go to the city's website. You'll see the information also on the screen there. So come on out, support the cleanup, and have some fun as well after that. And that's all I have. Commissioner Leinbach, back to you.
Thank you very much. And Commissioner Kevin Barnhart.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. And thank you to CGL and your staff for the presentation this morning. Much appreciated. Hope we get a lot of support looking at that information on the website. This morning at 11 o'clock, we will have our election board meeting. We have some significant issues to discuss. One is 7 polling location changes. We'll be discussing and authorizing Act 88 grant funding. Also to a contract with BCTV for polling video and videotaping of the process of mail-in ballots, and review and approve referendum questions to be placed on a ballot in the city of Reading. There's 2, and also 1 for Lower Heidelberg Township. And lastly will be the review and discussion of the 2022 primary election investigation. This afternoon, as was noted by CGL, we will be having our Berks County Correctional Facility Steering Committee meeting here at 1 o'clock. So if you're interested, please stop on in. And tomorrow we have our first in-person SOS Berks Opioids Coalition meeting at Alvernia's McGlynn Center We've been virtually meeting for the past 2+ years and really encourage you to get back at it in person with our Opioids Coalition. Last but not least, I'll be joining my colleagues in Lancaster County for the CCAP annual conference Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Barnhart. And as noted, all three of us will be there in Lancaster County, our neighbor to the south. That's always a very interesting and educational experience. Commissioner Rivera and I were at the National Association of Counties annual conference a couple of weeks ago, and I always try to do this, some quick highlights. One I've already passed on to our HR department. NACO has launched what is called Mental Health First Aid Kit for counties to utilize with county employees. It's something that we're going to look at. It's a confidential program that educates employees on the issues of mental health and provides confidential access to resources to help them and potentially family members. I sit on the NACO Transportation Committee. There were a number of things discussed. The one I found that was most interesting, and I consider myself pretty technically astute, but I was not aware of a new type of airplane, for lack of a better word, known as an AAM or an eVTOL. It is an electric vertical takeoff vehicle, and they look like drones, and they're much bigger. They are used for people and cargo. They are already in production, and the FAA expects to actually certify these planes in the next 1 to 2 years. Cargo between places not currently or easily served by surface transportation or existing aviation modes. Extremely fascinating. You can check, NASA has a website where NASA's been very involved. And you can also go to N as in November, B as in Bravo, AA.org/aircraft operations. And it talks about the program. The AAM is Advanced Air Mobility. I also, and I have to tell you, I've been impressed with U.S. Department of Transportation. They were setting up individual meetings for any county leaders that wanted to meet. I was able to meet with Will Rasky, and I've actually met with him virtually before. He is with U.S. Department of Transportation. He wanted to know about our priorities here in Berks County. I was able to talk about Route 222 North, the funding that was there and isn't there because it was moved by PennDOT from counties to interstate highways. The West Shore Bypass and the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail, restoration of passenger rail. Dr. Eric Pages was one of the workshops I attended, the theory and practice of economic development. Won't go into the details, but Eric Pages was born and raised right here in Berks County. Very, very good presentation. I've got a lot of notes. One of the notes I will share is 88% of new jobs in a state come from businesses that are already there. And that was dealing with all the money and all the tax breaks that many communities give to get the big monster company to come from out of state into your state. The vast majority of new jobs, when you look at new job data, come from businesses that are already in a particular state. The last thing I want to share, the closing speaker was a gentleman, very fascinating, Mick Ebling. He's retired Air Force. He started a company or an organization, if you will, referred to as Not Impossible, and it's Not Impossible Labs. He is not an engineer, and his colleagues are not engineers. They look for problems that are considered impossible, and they solve them. And he made a simple point. He said, how many of you came into this meeting, sat down, and before you sat down, looked at the chair and said, wow, to think 10 years ago, we were sitting on stones. He said there was a point in time a chair was an impossible idea. He said, if you look around you, everything at one point in time was impossible. He shared their impossible scenario, and I won't go into all the details other than to say it dealt with the aftermath of the action, the violence in Somalia, and a particular boy named Daniel that they became aware of who had both of his arms blown off, and the chances of that boy getting prosthetics, impossible. The prosthetics that he needed were $15,000 a piece. Not impossible, went to Somalia because they knew there were a lot of children like Daniel, and they set up the first ever 3D printing prosthetics lab out in the field in the world. And they designed on the spot prosthetics. And they provided prosthetics, not just for him, but for a number of children. And that lab, as of 2 weeks ago, was still operating, still creating prosthetics. That $15,000 prosthetic for one arm, they produced it for $100. I encourage you, if you get a chance, go to notimpossible.com. It's an amazing website. It's amazing that the work that they do. The last thing that I want to share, last Thursday, I was in Harrisburg to testify before Commonwealth Court on the undated ballot issue. Now, there's been a lot of information put out there about what Berks did or didn't do. Berks certified its election in two parts. I believe on June the 6th, everything but the provisional ballots were certified, and on June the 8th, provisional ballots were certified. The deadline was June the 9th. We have 645 undated ballots. There are 507 Democratic. There are 138 Republican. I was able to be there for the entire hearing. Jonathan Marks, the Deputy Secretary of the Commonwealth, testified. He testified that only 3 counties refused to count or certify, we counted, but to certify undated ballots. However, that testimony was incorrect. Butler County, in a letter dated August, and I'm reading an excerpt, further, I was informed by a Butler County official, not only did Butler County not certify undated ballots, but there may be other counties beyond Butler County and the 3 responding counties that did not include undated absentee mail-in ballots in the respective certified election results. I have asked counsel for petitioners to confirm whether all counties, excluding responding counties and Butler County, have submitted certified election results, which include undated absentee and mail-in ballots. You might ask, why is this important? Number one, Jonathan Marks also testified that any communication from the Secretary of Commonwealth to the counties is not mandate, it is guidance only. They do not have the authority to force the counties to do something.
I could care less what Butler County wants. I want to know
Tom,
what we're doing.
You'll have your opportunity. On June the 2nd, the Commonwealth Court ruled relative McCormick versus the Commonwealth that counties had to provide a segregated count, unofficial, of dated and undated ballots. Berks County did that. In the hearing, the Attorney General's office tried to make the case that the June 2nd order, when it ordered us to canvass meant the same thing as certify. Unfortunately for them, Jonathan Marks testified that canvassing and certification are 2 completely different things. The June 2nd order ordered us to count, and we did, and we submitted. The second case they cited was the federal case dealing with Lehigh County. The Lehigh County federal case deals not with the primary of 2021, but with an election of 2022, but with an election in 2021. And that case is not final, it is on appeal. So what does the law say? The current law says that signed and dated ballots, that all outside envelopes must be both signed and dated, shall be signed and dated. The envelopes, and these were read into the record by the deputy secretary, are very clear on the directions. The law tells us they have to be signed, the outside envelope, signed and dated in the same sentence. The directions say in both English and Spanish, your ballot must have the following to be counted. You sign and date the voter's declaration in your own handwriting. There's two different ballots here, or envelopes. One is mail-in, one is absentee. They say exactly the same thing. The issue is really very simple. We believe, two of the three commissioners believe, that the law matters and the court action matters. And the courts, the one case on June the 2nd, didn't deal with certification. We abided by that, and that case has been dismissed. There is no finality in that particular case. The federal 3rd District decision is on appeal, and again, only deals with an election in Lehigh County from last year. Judge Jubileer, Commonwealth Court, will make a judgment at some point in the future, but again, the county has certified all of the dated ballots in accordance with law. So I wanted to share that information, hopefully to clear up some of the confusion that may be out there. That's all that I have. Are there any row officer comments? Hearing none, we will turn to public comment. And as we've noted, public comment in person is recognized first. And we will begin with Tom Herman from Robinson Township, and you have 3 minutes.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name's Tom Herman. I reside in Robinson Township. I'm an elected state Democratic committeeman and an elected county Democratic committeeman, and have been for the past 25 years. On the county committee, I serve as the chair of our judicial committee. I'm the parliamentarian, and I serve on the executive board. For the state Democratic committee, I am serving on the executive committee, and I am the chair of the bylaws committee. Gentlemen, I say all this introduction to let you know I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm here to object to your participation in this frivolous lawsuit that the state had to give to Berks County. May 17th primary was done. You certified it and you just said so. These results are a matter of record. The Pennsylvania Election Code provides for impermissible discrepancies and minor meaningless irregularities, such as a date on an envelope. You are risking conflict with the Pennsylvania Constitution and federal law. This election denier BS and ultra MAGA political gamesmanship is an embarrassment, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. This is a waste of county resources and my tax dollars. There's no basis for not submitting this paperwork to the Commonwealth. The Third Circuit Court and the Commonwealth Court have already ruled on this issue. For you not to provide the Department of State their paperwork is pure political gamesmanship. You've already certified this election, and I've got my document signed by all three of you and attested by the clerk to say so. What you're doing may be considered false swearing, and that's possibly a felony. It's time for you to stop wasting my tax dollars and county resources simply to promote your election denier or hidden agenda political crap. Holding up certification of my state Democratic Committee election and the certs of all my colleagues on the other side of the aisle has no basis in law. You're affecting and hurting not only Democrats, but Republicans as well. Gentlemen, I'm not asking you. I'm demanding that you submit the routine paperwork and this frivolous, ridiculous waste of my tax dollars.
Thank you very much. For the record, your election was certified. It was certified on either June the 6th or June the 8th relative to the provisional ballots. The only votes that have not been certified have been the 645 undated ballots in accordance with the law and in accordance with current judicial decisions.
Christian, for the record,
no.
I don't have my cert from the state because of this.
The test, we can talk afterwards, but the testimony from the deputy secretary in Commonwealth Court was as follows. The only elections that are not certified currently are the governor's race, the lieutenant governor's race, the Senate race, any U.S. House races in these 3 counties, but now we know there's at least a 4th and maybe more, and any state legislative races with any part of the district in these counties. He did not testify that there were any other elections not certified. So, and they certified those elections. We certify the elections below that. So you have the certification.
And
you just referenced it. You have the certification from us.
Certification from you. I do not have the certification from my state Democratic Committee elected position.
Okay. Any other comments? I don't see anything online, and no one else came in after 10. Okay. Anything for the good of the order?
Motion to adjourn.
The meeting stands adjourned.
That was in unison. Singing group.